What's up, guys? This is an update on the Wouxun here. I already forget the model number of this, like I pay attention to that. But anyway, it's the standard radio that you see all the time out in the web. 5 something, 5 delta, whatever, UV 5 delta. But that's not important right now. What's important is I've had this for 2 years now. I've took it out with me everywhere. I haven't taken out my Wouxun radio at all. It's pretty much just, in the background there. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But for the most part, 98% of the time I've been using this for the past 2 years. And everywhere. Hiking, camping, at the job, doing radio checks or whatever, is bouncing around in my vehicle. Out to fire deployments, incident base camp stuff, and so forth. And just recently, about a week and a half ago to 2 weeks ago, I've loaned this to my co-worker. I was down at this 180-foot tower. I was doing the ground crew down at the base level, and my co-worker, he was working up on the 140-foot level. I don't know what he did. Maybe he leaned over. He had this maybe clipped on to his webbing, his harness, safety harness or whatever. Leaned over. It slipped on out and plunged 140 feet down into the ground. The tower is surrounded by a concrete slab, and beyond that point there's gravel. And this has landed on the gravel on the back side of the battery, right around here. And the battery that it had on there totally shattered. It was just in pieces, so it fell on his backside. And the only damage that I could see to this unit here is this is made out of plastic, so you got like these 3 sort of securing holes there for the battery. This part of it here in the corner broke off. There's a nice little sort of gash where it maybe hit the corner of a gravel rock or whatever. They're nice sized pieces like this. This thing is still, there's a piece of plastic here just holding on. The metal part is okay. It didn't fall on the face, so none of the controls here were damaged. Didn't fall on the top of the radio, so the antenna actually survived, and all the controls on top is still functional as before. So yeah, my coworker was sweating bullets here, figuring he had to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to replace this. But I was like, if it's broken, just pay for a what do you call those? Bowfangs. They cost $30. So whatever. I would have been a little upset if it was my Wouxun VX7R, but I probably would have had a brand new one if that was the case, because my coworker, he's a man of honor, and he would totally, what do you call it, reimburse me for the damaged radio. But it works. This Wouxun radio 140-foot drop test works. So far, it turns on. Well, the lights turns on. There's a dopey ass light there. All the controls work. Everything is working as before. The only damage is just where they secure the batteries. But I still have 2 tabs here that secures this other replacement battery that I have, extra battery that I have. So it is working so far. But you can't really tell if it's really working. I mean, you cannot see power out or how sensitive the receiver of this thing is. So we're going to put it on the test equipment here and measure the basics, the specs of the radio there, to see if it's within industry standards or close to it. So that's what I'm going to go through in this video, see if it passes that particular requirement. I got some footage of the tower, but it's a little bit too windy to make out what I'm saying on there, so I'll be doing most of the talking here at the spool top here, and just show the other footage for reference as to the height of the plunge this thing has taken. So that's what the video is going to be about. Okay, so I got this hooked up, and of course I'm going to make this sort of resemble everyday normal radio operating procedure for civilians, which is going to be the ham channel. So I have it on the ham channel here, 146 megahertz dot 55 kilohertz, and we're going to transmit and see how the transmitter is doing. So typically this transmits 5 watts of power, so I have it on high power, which is the 5 watts, and let's see if it does that. So I don't know how well this is going to come out on the screen there. So this is the power out right here. This is showing 0.41 more than what it is really, so I'm going to have to kind of do a little bit of Kentucky windage with the power out reading. I'm getting 5.02 watts, so this is actually transmitting 4.5 watts, 4.5 watts transmitting on VHF. Let me bring it up to 151.88. I think that's mirrors number 2, and I'm going to transmit. I'm not breaking the law because I'm transmitting directly into this machine here, which is also a dummy load, so I'm not interfering with anybody here. So let's see what that does. 4.6 watts on 151 megahertz. So it's within specs, sort of. It's transmitting a little bit less than what it was rated for. Okay, let's see what the frequency error there. This number here should be as close to 0 as possible. I'm transmitting 146.55, and it's at 0.009, 8 hertz off frequency, which is kick-ass. That's like right on the money, just about. Can't get any better than that, really. So that's doing really good. It's transmitting a PL tone, and that tone will be around 0.5 kilohertz. If I shut up, it'll give me a better reading. 0.46 kilohertz of the PL tone being transmitted, so that's within specs in a way. Okay, let's see what the full deviation on wideband deviation is. I should read somewhere between 4.5 to 5 kilohertz of deviation. 5. That showed 4.1. It's transmitting a little bit low as far as your voice. 5. Yeah, 4.5, but it's still legible for everybody else there in the field. It'll just be a little bit low in volume, not too much. I mean, 4.5 kilohertz of deviation in wideband is nothing to sneeze about, so that's totally acceptable. So the transmitter actually is doing okay after 2 years and being somewhat of, you know, this class of radio. So let's check out the receiver, see how that's doing. So that's 0.5 microvolts of signal being pumped into this, which is, you know, it's pretty strong. It's not too strong and it's not too weak. And you notice you hear more tone than you do static. This particular test procedure, it measures how sensitive the receiver is. So what you're going to hear is the ratio between tone and static. So I'm going to go ahead and lower the input level of this, the output level of this machine here. So right there is 0.19 microvolts of signal being pumped into this, and you can hear the ratio between static and that tone. So with my ears, you know, I could plug this into the machine and actually measure the measurement, but I'm not going to. I kind of know from hearing it what the 12 dB cutoff level is, or that particular test reading that I should get, the specs. And this is receiving really, really well. So there's no issue with reception with this thing here. So that's pretty much all the testing for this the basic testing of the functionality of this radio here. All the buttons still works, the display all works, all the other functions, push to talk, it's just like before, except for that little, you know, damaged part right down here at the corner here. So this little Wouxun radio, which is the KGUV6X model, has survived a 140-foot plunge from a radio tower. That's pretty remarkable. Will other makes do the same thing, like the more expensive makes? If it fell the way this thing did, it probably would. So this thing got really lucky how it landed on the ground, and I don't have to replace this. This thing is still okay. So this is the 120-foot level, and that one there is 140 feet level up high. And I don't remember which level it fell off, but it fell off of one of these levels here, and it went down to the gravel pit down there, or the gravel top. And luckily it didn't hit the concrete, but the little Wouxun or Ocean took a 140-foot drop test, and this is what it looks like here.